What's the worst cereal of all time?
Captain Crunch.
Fruit Loops.
Kellogg's.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
You got it.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. But let's get into it.
All right, we all got it in. That was amazing. Before
But
we
I
discuss,
heard none of them.
Yeah, I've heard
because
none.
there's so many people today.
yeah. So real quick, we'll talk about it in a minute. But the extra voices are Niyati and Hadya, who are, as Amber calls them, our interns. They don't know what they are. We don't know what they are, but they're here. You've heard their names before. We're gonna do a strange exchange with them. So good job. This was the first try. We all got our answers in.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about it. I said the worst cereal of all time. All I heard was Kellogg's from somebody. Who said that? Niyati?
Kellogg's.
That was me.
right,
Well,
so-
like, you just said a whole brand.
Yeah, that's like
I
20 cereals in
guess.
one.
No, but like I'm talking about like, you know, the plain ones that don't taste like anything.
You talking about Special K?
Cheerios?
Are you
Yes.
talking about?
Was
Okay.
yeah.
Special K
Or-
tastes like something.
Like not the strawberry one, but like, you know, the normal one that
Like the corn flakes.
tastes like nothing.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
guess.
said. I said flakes.
Wait, what about Frosted Flakes?
Frosted Flakes are good. because
Also, I
it's
don't like how you
sugar.
said that because you said frosted flakes. Like
I
Frosted.
did. I did not say that.
You're like frosted.
But hey, if Kellogg's want to make me a
Frosty
cereal, let's get it.
Frosty
Frosty
Flakes.
flakes.
Yo,
I think anything.
I'm going
that-
on a cereal box.
Oh, hold on. Lucky Charms are terrible.
Yeah. Well,
Because-
also,
You said
Amber, I
Lucky
believe
Charms?
they have gelatin in them, so I don't know what you're doing eating Lucky Charms.
I'm just pointing out for those who do eat them that.
Let me tell you
one-tenth
exactly
of
who
it is-
Amber was when she was a little kid. She was in the kindergarten picking out all the marshmallows out of Lucky Charms and eating those because they were colorful.
Oh,
True or
my
false?
God.
Look
And
at
she's
look,
laughing
look,
really hard.
look at her.
It's her. Yep.
Facts.
Guilty.
I told
Guilty.
you. Anything fruity, I'm not like. That's why I said Fruity Pebbles. That
Fruit
goes
Loops kind of
for
slap though.
fruit. Oh my God, Fruit Loops!
It kinda
please,
slaps.
no.
Yeah, I like Fruit Loops.
Yeah, they
I
slap.
don't know.
You
I
guys,
don't
are,
like chocolatey
you guys are wrong.
cereals. Like Cocoa Puffs. Mm-mm.
Oh, there's a good
you need
too.
to sit
Yeah,
down.
those are
Cocoa
You need
Puffs.
to s-
Cocoa Puffs ruin the milk too. Like
What?
You're,
Milk
it
bed.
makes the.
It's
All
a
right,
chocolate
Amber,
milk. It turns
Amber,
into a
please
chocolate
mute
milk.
yourself. Please mute yourself.
Listen, I'm here and I'm going to speak up loud and proud for all the people who are listening that agree with me that Cocoa Puffs are trash.
If there's a cereal that like mutually everyone likes, it's probably one of the chocolate ones, like Cocoa Puffs or
think?
Cocoa Pebbles.
It's not
No.
Frosted Flakes. You don't think it's
No,
Frosted?
I don't like.
I don't
Frosted
know.
Flakes.
I thought
I don't
Frosted
know.
Flakes would be like the most mutual.
You know what's the
Maybe.
best?
Or Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey
She
Bunches
said
of
Honey Nut
Oats.
Cheerios.
Or
Hadya
Bob.
said
Wait,
Honey Nut
Hadya,
Cheerios.
you said Honey Nut
think,
Cheerios?
I couldn't
You
think of
like
anything else. I don't actually think it's the worst. I actually grew up eating it, but it's
Okay.
fine.
That's
Frosted
probably
Flakes
the
are just
best.
sugar-coated cornflakes.
Yeah, that's why they're
Yeah, I
good.
don't like
Yeah, that's why
those.
they're good.
You need a little sugar. You know, when my brother and I were little, what we used to do is we used to buy the Cocoa Pebbles, and then we would put chocolate syrup in our milk, plus
Ew.
the Cocoa Pebbles, plus sugar.
Okay, I know you didn't just talk trash about me doing that with my Lucky Charms when you're out here doing the most.
I grew up in a different environment than you. In Pakistan, we used to put sugar in our milk. Like everybody used to do that.
They had no teeth by the age of 5.
Straight up.
You don't need them when you're a kid. When you're a kid, your teeth are gonna go away anyways. Why not have fun?
I strongly disagree.
But
You guys were
but there
basically
is-
living off of sugar rushes from your breakfast.
why not? But you know what's an underrated cereal?
What?
What's the one that looks like that? I can't think. Like the thing on the farms. The
That
Oh,
wheat.
Mini Wheats?
Crave.
mini wheats. Mini wheats.
Oh.
You really
Have you guys
think
ever had-
those are underrated?
You don't like them?
They're good, but I don't think they're like amazing.
I don't think anybody looks at them like they're something special.
I feel like a lot of kids
'Cause
won't
they're
eat them.
not.
I know that's
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. The kids won't eat them, but then Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran is such a good cereal.
I like Raisin Bran.
Yeah, Raisin Bran's pretty good.
But it's
Only
actually not
because
as
of
healthy
raisin.
as it seems.
No, because it's so much sugar. The raisins
What? Yeah.
are literally sugar-coated.
Yeah.
No, so is there actually, because like when we were little, we would always see those commercials that were like, oh, part of a balanced diet, and you would have an orange and a
Nah.
banana, orange juice cereal. Is there a cereal that's actually like good, or is it mostly just?
What Niyati said, the Special K.
Special
Special
K.
K.
Cornflakes
the
is
one that
probably
tastes the
okay.
worst.
There's
the-
no
like, you know-
kid cereal that comes to mind except for, and this is actually the number one toddler food. Educator Amber coming out, but basically like the Cheerios, the ones that have no flavor, is like the number one baby food because babies can choke on literally anything, but because they have the circle in the middle, it's like not a choke hazard.
It's a
Like,
lifesaver.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, because if it didn't have it, then kids would choke. But
That's so interesting.
flavorless Cheerios.
It's a mini breathing tube.
Well, thank you guys for tuning into an episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Shimmer,
For us.
My name is Amber.
and we have 2 extra people that,
Whoa.
but we'll introduce them later. This is the strangest and greatest podcast in the game. This is brought to you by Alif Theory. You can email us or send us your music at strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to your podcasts, and we're also on YouTube. And you can comment, like, and subscribe and see our beautiful faces. And you can see these 2 people that are waiting on the side that we're about to introduce and that
Looking
talked in the
gorgeous
intro,
as ever.
Warming up the bench.
warming up the bench, that we will introduce in just a moment. Just hang in there, everyone. This is the greatest intro ever. So, yeah. You can follow us on all social media at Strange Flavors. We're also now on TikTok. And our most
Ooh.
recent TikToks are actually getting some traction.
Yes,
Let's
they
go.
are.
A lot of controversy,
A lot of controversy.
a lot of commentary.
That's
but
what we
out
like
there.
on this podcast. That's what we like, right? We enjoy that. Especially in the
We don't want
last
bland responses.
few episodes. Last few episodes, we've been getting a lot of controversy. So
We love it.
we love it.
Bring it on.
And if you want to be part of Strange Flavors Town, you can click the link in the description and be part of that. Just like our supporters, Bobber's Bagels, Cassie's Cupcakes, Erha's Ices, Fariha's Falafels, and Uslam's Apples.
Wow.
You'd like to be part
Such a
of Strange
diverse
Flavors
town.
Such a diverse town. And all flavors are amazingly good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No,
dehydrated
that's
town,
not true.
though.
Don't do
it's
that.
not true? You don't like that?
We
All flavors
we
are not
need
the
some
same.
Drinks.
No, I said they're amazingly good. I didn't say they're
That's
all.
not true.
He's saying
What flavor?
It's all
don't you
about
not like?
It's all about preference.
No, I'm talking about our Strange Flavors Town.
I know, but they're all respected. But
You don't like them all?
let me
You don't think
think.
they're all good?
I think the town is in a drought. It's super dehydrated. So if your name is Lena and you want to open up Lena's Lemonades or something, then come through and open up a drink shop because we have no drinks.
That's
Right.
kind of our fault. We could have like just named it a
Also,
drink.
Frost is just saying one of our Strange Flavors towns is bad flavoring.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got to find out which one it is.
Yeah. Which one's your least favorite, Frost?
Let us know.
Let me see. We have Bobber's Bagels. Bagels are good. Cassie's Cupcakes on occasion. Fariha's Falafels. That's a iffy one. But
You
then
don't like
again, she
falafels?
probably has like gyros in there. So it's okay because it's just a shop. It's like a falafel house. They don't only have falafels. You never heard of
Okay.
it?
Falafel House is a thing.
And then Irha's Ices. That could no.
Ices
That's
are
a good
bomb.
one.
Ices
What
are
am I
so
missing?
good.
Uslam's
Uslam's
apples.
You need the fruit. I'm gonna put. I think the cupcakes are the least.
Oh,
Wow,
the least.
Cassie
No.
is
Hold
a-
up.
Cassie, come
Hold up. Tone it down. Turn the volume down just a little bit. Let me finish. All right.
Okay. Cassie,
The
maybe you turn the volume down
Amber.
too a little bit.
No.
doesn't
Cassie,
sound too
turn me
good.
up. Turn me up. The cupcakes are the least essential for every day, but when it's time, it hits different. And that's the only place you can get a cake or a
But
cupcake.
You think it's good though, right? They're good cupcakes, right?
Yeah, but I was just saying that like not every flavor is like
Frost.
on the same level.
Unnecessary.
There's levels
Absolutely
to it. There's
unnecessary.
levels to everything.
However,
It's not a
let me
shot
skip-
at Cassie. Cassie's a goat.
It's a shot at us. We chose their names.
I know. We have no drinks, bruh.
All right,
What did we do? We have to
we
change
just
one of them.
wasted 3 minutes.
Fariha's Faludas. How come we never thought of that? Remember?
I mean,
We
ices
did.
are a
We
Oh,
drink.
you did? We did?
Oh, I guess
Okay,
we like
alright.
falafels. But Faria said she does like falafels, so she was like, "How did you guys know?"
Ooh.
Oh, see? It's an instinctual thing.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we also have a YouTube channel that goes by the name RwnlPwnl, and we have a Patreon for it with exclusive content. We also have a Discord where you can drop in amazing guest questions guests that you probably want us to have on the podcast in the Discord. So, and we also have amazing merch of RwnlPwnl, so RwnlPwnl.com. All links down below. You can
Let
check
me say
them out.
something about RwnlPwnl real quick.
Yes.
RwnlPwnl has a new album coming out.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
No way.
It does, but this is what I was going to say. Wait on it, people. Don't give up on us. We're working super hard on it. Do you know that...
Were there people giving up?
Listen, so last year, we crossed... This is so tragic. We crossed 10K followers.
Oof.
We crossed 10K followers on Instagram. It was a huge milestone. And like a few days after
Wait. We love the 10K because we could swipe up and finally
Yeah.
like put videos on our stories and you can swipe up.
You don't have to always link in bio. Link in bio is peasantry.
It is
Yeah.
peasantry, and I'm in peasantry. I am a peasant.
Same.
We moved up. We basically snuck into the first class bathroom.
Yeah.
And then one of the first class members were like, "Yo, they don't got the suit and tie on. Put them back in economy." And then a few days after, we went to economy, and since then we've lost another 1,000 followers.
Did we get important question here? Did we get our privileges revoked as well?
Okay,
Yes.
here's a funny story. Here's
We
what
have no
happened.
swipe up.
So I was putting a story up, right? And I was like, guys, why can't I do the swipe up? I was like curious. And then I looked and it was literally 9,999. And I was like, yo,
That hurts.
Instagram is ruthless. Like as soon as I was trying to put a story up, they were like, sorry, no swipe up. And I was like, dang, this is depressing. And then I immediately sent a screenshot to Frost. I was like, yo. And then it just went downhill. It never went up. It
Now
kept
it's
going down.
9,185. It's been going down ever since because people, but you know what? This is what I'll say. The 9,185 of you that are here today probably will be like 9,000 tomorrow, but it's okay. However many there are, y'all are real. Y'all
Yeah.
are loyal. And I can't think of a perk to give you at the moment, but love is a perk.
Love
Is
is a
love
perk.
not a
Love is-
perk?
Love
It's
is
a
a
perk.
perk.
It's a perk.
You have our love, and we appreciate your trust in us, and we hope that we can deliver.
Yeah.
We promise that we will deliver.
Yeah, we will make that 9K into
true.
90K. We don't know when
Niyati,
that will happen.
you actually, Niyati was actually there during a session of some of our listening of the album.
Oh.
Was it? How was it? I'm not gonna even put words in your mouth.
It was good. I would be excited. I am excited.
You know, I take back me asking Niyati. That was not
Yeah.
excited enough.
Yeah.
No,
That was
it's
a bad PR
exciting.
move.
Run
Like,
it back. Okay, Hadya, now you're gonna pretend like you heard the album. Hadya, what did you think of it?
Oh my god, I can't wait.
No,
like,
we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. If Niyati says that it's good, then we have to do better.
Yeah, we have to do better.
no, it's really good. Like, I don't know how to describe it with words. Like, it's that good.
Now you're simping. Now you're running.
No,
from
oh my gosh.
that's
There's a
not the
fine
correct
line
term to
between
use
like
this sentence.
fan behavior and I'm like fan behavioring over this album.
No,
I'm a
she
fan.
actually did really like it. We didn't even ask her opinion that time, but
Poor
she was like,
Niyati.
"Oh my god, guys!"
like-
And we were like, "You were there? You were listening to the whole thing?" You just like, she could have,
like-
she could have honestly just like leaked the whole thing.
Yeah,
But
she
she
probably did. That's why we lost the followers.
Ooh.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, this shit's trash." Like,
Where did I hear this before?
Also, if
But-
you guys can't tell, we're kind of like going off about random stuff. This is a strange exchange today, so we're not going to have any guests. We're just going to have a nice and fun, flowing conversation.
let's go.
Yeah. So, again, thank you for everybody that's sticking around, waiting on this, but we're working really hard on it, and we can't wait to tell you everything else that goes with that. That being said, yes, as Amber has pointed out, this is a strange exchange, and real quick, let's get to know our new interns first, okay?
So now
I think
you're
it's
calling
important.
them interns. You were coming at me for calling them interns.
They are like interns, right? Like that's technically what it would be.
Yeah, I mean, but came at for
Amber,
calling
you're
them interns.
an intern.
Okay, get out of my face.
I get out.
Why are you saying it like it's a bad thing?
No, because I'm not an intern. Thank you. Period.
Look, she's putting disrespect.
It's not.
on the
It's
name
not
of
a
intern.
bad thing. But these people came into our group within the last few months. They've come, they've really helped elevated our stuff. But I've also been around for years. And I am
You're in the review process.
I'm an integral part of this podcast. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so a while back we actually sent out a little call to action for people wanting, like, if they wanted to help out, join our team while we were figuring out how to take care of this album, run the podcast, and do everything else with our Alif Theory brand. And Hadya and Niyati were two people that had applied and made it all the way through because we liked their work.
Actually.
But Niyati actually ran away.
Niyati didn't show up.
Yeah, we were all waiting.
Yeah.
Niyati, what
Oh,
happened?
you
She had
waiting?
a time slot and everything. We had everything
didn't.
ready for her. We're like, okay, and we're on Zoom waiting for her to show up, and then
No.
30 minutes go by.
We had you
She
as a
never
tier
did.
1.
Yeah.
We had you
I
as tier
didn't.
1.
I didn't think I signed up for a Zoom spot. I think like you sent
No,
out a
she didn't
schedule,
sign up
and
for
I was
Zoom.
like,
She just
I'm
put
a-
in the application and then she just like never replied to anything, even though we put her in tier 1. She like filled out the application really well too. Like it looked
It was-
really good. But then, yeah, explain. I mean, we already talked about this. Like, explain what was going through your head, and then from there, what happened.
I just got really nervous and freaked out, and then I was like, why did I do that? And then no, I was like, I filled it out like late at night too. I was like, ooh, this is cool. Like, I've known these people, like, I've watched these people on YouTube for so long. Like, that'd be kind of cool. And I just did it. And I woke up the next day and I was like, huh, I did that. And then I got like
Was
the
it
emails and
something you
stuff.
saw of us that was like, you know what, I suddenly don't like these people?
No, it was not that. I was just like, I mean, there's like no way that I could like do this, you know? Like, I was just in my own head about it. I was like second guessing myself. I was like, what would I contribute to them? I don't know.
So you actually never reached out to us. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
happened?
like freaked out.
So what happened? How'd you come back? How'd you become a part of us then?
Oh, so for us, literally called me one
Hunted
day.
her down.
I tracked her down.
Yeah.
You hunted her down.
And I didn't pick up at first because it was a Maryland number, and like I don't pick up random numbers, obviously. So after I didn't pick up the call, I like searched up the area code because this was like a month later, and I was like, I don't know anyone from Baltimore. And then I get a text, and it was like, "Are you Niyati?" And I was like, I'm like, "Yes, that is me. Who are you?" And he was like, "I'm Faraz. Are you still interested in this thing?" And I was like, "Oh, I am," but like I like made up like a random excuse. I was like, because I don't want, like, I didn't know how to be like, "Oh, I just freaked out and never."
What happened in your life
texted
that
you
makes you
back.
so paranoid?
I wasn't paranoid. I was just like, it was just really weird.
Wait,
I was
is this
like,
gonna
I don't
happen
know.
like with a job interview? Like if she gets a job, she just doesn't.
She gets a job at like Google, and she's like, I don't know, like Google.
I
Like
don't know.
sometimes I'm on Google, but like.
And it's not like we had like a shortage of people who applied that were like going to seek out Niyati. It was because we really liked her application, and like out of all these people who applied and everything, we had great people apply. We had so many like
Almost 30.
yeah, it was just so many great people applied. There were specific things that we were looking for when we put out this assessment, or what is it called?
Application.
Google form.
Application. And
Assessment.
Niyati just hit a few things that we were specifically looking for the podcast, and then dipped.
I felt
And-
the opposite way. I was like, I just filled out this application. Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't know. I felt like I wasn't like good enough almost, but I was like, they must know so many people. Like, so many people must have applied. Like, I don't know. I would have no chance. So I like literally forgot about it. Like I just like didn't think about it.
Does
again
this
like
make you
that.
more optimistic for the future?
Yes, I feel really cool. Like I was like myself, like confidence really shot up after that. I will say, I was like, yeah,
Oh wow.
they called me back.
Okay, but that's not gonna happen for you in the rest of your life. So don't
Yeah,
expect like
I will. I will
Steve
not second guess
Jobs. Steve
myself.
Jobs comes up out of his grave to call Niyati. Please work for
Like,
Apple.
I will not do that again. But thank you for calling me back,
Yeah. No, not calling you back. Calling you
or
in the
calling me,
first place.
and
First.
then yeah.
Thank you for calling me back.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, fast forward to now. Everything that we kind of wanted from like her specific position, which was going to be like the social media Strange Flavors person, she's done so incredibly well. And if you see everything that's being posted on our YouTube and our social media, it's all with the efforts of Niyati and Isan, who has been on a previous episode. But Niyati has really taken charge of all of that, so she's incredible. And so thank you, Niyati. Hadya, how did you get over here?
How did I? Well,
Via boat?
I filled out the yes. No. I'm afraid of boats, but anyways, that's a different thing. I filled out the application just like Niyati. I was like, nothing's gonna really come of it, so I just filled it out for fun. And then y'all emailed me a couple weeks later, and I was like, oh, okay, great. And then we booked the time. We did the interview. When me and Niyati talked about our processes, it was so different. Like, I was like, oh yeah, Amber just interviewed me. Like, it was like pretty professional. And Niyati's like,
only Amber interviewed you, right?
So I first interviewed Hadya and then took her primary interview. And then I was like, okay, guys, I think that she would be good for us. And then we did a 3-person interview.
Yeah.
Right.
She's
I
like,
just
it's
say
really
right like that.
She's like, oh yeah, like mine is super professional. Niyati's like, Frost called me out.
Niyati's like, yeah, he called me, and I was like, damn, they chased you down.
I was like studying for my physics quiz, and I just got this random call, and I was like, stop bothering me, like I'm trying to study for my physics quiz. And then the text was really ominous and like kind of scary, and I was like, yes, who is this? I was like, for us.
Because here's the thing about this whole process, right? Like, I'm not a CEO boss type of person. I like when it comes to leading, like I can lead an effort, right? When it came to all of this company stuff, I think like slowly we've all been trying to figure out how to navigate that and how to get people to be motivated and do jobs that they like to do, but also for the greater good of moving this whole brand forward. And it's a lot of like things you don't think about when you're just a creator, when you're just, because all of us, we started off just clicking record and then posting to YouTube. And now we're in the age where you have to really coordinate how all of this stuff goes out. But also when you decide to go forth with the whole business and branding aspect, getting a team together and everybody playing their parts, it's not just hitting record and uploading, although it would be nice and sometimes it can be that. There's a lot of strategy and everything that goes into it. So when it came to like having other people on board and everything, I was like, I don't know if you guys remember, but even at first I was like trying to talk all professional and like write like, properly. But then I'm like, it's fine. Like, we're just going to wing it and go by. And
it's a little narcissistic type of question. But how are we before and after, like, getting to know us?
Oh, like
and
us?
rank them in order.
Us.
Just kidding.
Yes, rank.
No. We're not doing
First,
that.
second, and third place. Let's go.
Niyati.
Okay. Like, I don't know. You guys are kind of just like you're in the vlogs. Like, I used to watch the vlogs a lot, and yeah, you guys, like, it wasn't weird or anything. I mean, in the beginning, it was kind of like nervous. Like, I was kind of nervous and everything like that. But you guys are really nice, and it wasn't like you guys don't have like a superiority complex or like.
Oh, dang it!
What if they just like shitted on us?
Yeah,
they're terrible.
I was hoping for that, but
Just
like,
don't ever work with them.
Shamir was prettier in the vlogs, but
Frost is a dick. Like
that's not super surprising.
I felt a lot more intimidated at the beginning, especially by Frost and even Amber a little bit. I don't know
not
why,
by me?
but,
That's a good thing, bro. We need to have that.
Yeah.
You need to
I
be
mean,
our
you're
like.
I'm trying to be
You're nice.
intimidating. You know?
Shamir, I don't know. I didn't know like how to like reach out to you, so I was just like, okay, like I'll see him every once in a while.
So I am intimidating.
No, you're unreachable.
Okay, if you
Shamir,
want to be.
the more you do that, the less intimidating they're gonna think you are.
Dude, what do I do to change that?
Do you want to be intimidating?
Why would you want to
Why
be
I'm kidding.
intimidating?
Keep going. What were you saying?
Yeah. So yeah, but then I worked a lot with, or like I talked a lot to Faraz, and Amber after the group chat was like a nice icebreaker. So we're chilling now. I'm chilling now.
Nice.
You got to have the good cop, bad cop, you know?
Who's gonna be the bad cop? Is it gonna be you?
Yeah.
It's,
I'm a
do
dirty
you
cop.
say no?
I
Knowing
said great.
dang well that you are the bad cop.
But the good cop, bad cop is like necessary. That's why Shamir, it's important that he's out here like, why am I not intimidating? I need to be intimidated. We need that, you know?
Also, I don't sound like that.
What was that? I was like, where was that coming from?
Ross has like a different frequency in his head.
He literally will only mock Shamir in that voice.
Oh my god.
When he says something like that, I like to.
It's cute.
It's
though.
cute. Yeah, it's cute. So let us know if you guys like them, if you want them out immediately, if you want them back on.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead and
regardless,
answer a poll on our next Instagram story.
They're like, no, we don't want them back, please. Please don't.
Please, never again.
They're actually on every single podcast when we record it. They're
Yeah.
just like hidden, but they listen. They're like there the whole time.
and they help us out. Like if we need to have some information or something, or if they're like hating on a guest, they give us all the tea.
Yep.
We never
but
hate
they're-
on guests.
But they're really awesome. And we're really glad to have them on board. And yeah. All right, Amber. Mm-hmm. You've been talking about this Shamir situation for a while, but I don't actually know the context of it.
Okay, here's the real tea. Okay, is that you two, Frost and Shamir, are the reason why I had to delete my dating apps.
Why?
Because, and that sounds weird, but
Because
really,
we're too hot.
because I want both of you. No, because I cannot deal with the amount of guys that have your names on these apps.
Both of us.
Both of you guys. So it's never, so Shamir, your name is spelled a bunch of different ways, and Frost's, your name is spelled a bunch of different ways. So Shamir, sometimes it'll be the
First of
M-I-R.
all-
Faris is F-A-R-I-S or F-A-R-E-S. And let me tell you, okay, this is where it gets a little weird.
Hold on. First of all, your name is Amber. Your name is Amber. And you're going to
Right.
come at us for, I had to delete my entire app because you guys have names?
Yeah, why do you have names? Why do you have names?
All right, keep going because I'm already...
Yes, because
Not a fan
listen,
of
so here it
how you
was.
started
Here
this
I
off.
was swiping along, okay, just minding my own swiping business. And I stopped because I was like, oh, this guy is attractive. I should swipe yes. And then I froze in my tracks because the name was Shamir. So I was like, you know what? Let me just leave this alone, close the app, call it a day. Because I can't swipe yes on a guy named Shamir.
Why?
Because, listen, it's uncomfortable. Like,
How?
Shamir's my best friend. I'm not going to have a boyfriend
What
or
does
God
that-
forbid a
It's a
husband
na- it's a-
whose
wait, wait,
name
wait,
is
wait.
Sham. Listen, you guys don't have names that are like Saad or like Hamza that are like normal. Like you guys have specific names, and you guys are like very much like the closest guys to me.
What do you want me to do?
Listen. So
Hold on. Does everybody else feel this way?
Amber, couldn't you if
Like,
you
does that
did
matter?
though, why wouldn't you give him a nickname? Like, couldn't you just give someone a nickname and not refer to them?
I
by-
give all of them my nicknames for their names. Like, Faraz and Shamir can vouch for me when I say that I have given them every nickname on the planet that falls under their names, as much as I can manipulate their names. Okay, so here
You're
I
like
was.
one.
I shut up. So, I close out my app and I was like, you know what? That's enough for today. And then I get a text message moments later that is a screenshot of the same exact dude that I closed the app for, whose name was Shamir. And my friend screenshots me a picture of this guy's profile and goes, Amber, he's your type. And I was like, oh my God, I have him open on the app. I can't get myself to swipe because his name is Shamir. Like, I can't do that. So then they were like, no, like, come on, like, we're not, like, young anymore. Like, you know, you're too grown. You're too
What?
grown. Yeah, because their thing is like, okay, you can't be picky at your age. And I was like, whoa, disrespectful, because I am not old enough to not be picky, first of all. And second of all, like,
What's it? We're not young. Are young people trying to get married?
No,
Like,
but
what
they're
is
saying
the-
like, oh, like, you know, you can have higher standards when you have more options, but Amber, you have a limited options. And
Oh, you're
sis,
running out of options.
And I don't agree, okay? And so
I mean, you've got 10 Shamirs alone. I think there's plenty of options.
10 Shamir.
right. So, and mind you, Shamir is my best friend, but also I dated a Shamir when I was a teenager too. So like that's even weirder. Like this whole thing.
Then,
So it's already happened.
So then why are you friends with Shamir? Wouldn't you be
Yeah.
like, no, that was my ex's name. Can't be friends with you.
Because the thing is, now I can have a friend who has a name of an ex, but I don't want to date somebody
Who
who's
writes your rules, Amber?
Listen, let me finish, okay? So as this is going along, I'm saying to my homegirls, like, no, I can't do this, no, I can't do this. They end up convincing me to swipe yes on him, whatever. But then I got to thinking, like, okay, imagine, right? All of us are in a room chilling. And I go like, hey, Shamir, or hey, Shami. And then they both look at me. That's so uncomfortable.
Oh my God. And then they're both going to start
Yeah.
making out with you.
Listen, the idea is uncomfortable, okay? And so you think it'd be okay if I start dating a guy named Faraz. Exactly just like that.
My dad's sister, her name and my mom's name is the same name.
Oh,
Yo.
oh,
And,
no.
and he has never had an issue with that.
Bruh, I've always thought I could never date an Ahmad or a Fahad. I can't do that. Those are my brother's names. I cannot do that.
And besides, my dad calls my mom something else. He doesn't call her Rizwana.
we call my brother Fahad and Fadi, right? And those two names are like very common, like Fadi, Fahad, all that type of stuff.
Oh, and he calls his sister Api.
I quite literally swipe no. I don't even look at their picture. If I see their name, no, wrong. But anyways, yes, it's official, guys. I have deleted my apps, and it is all your faults.
Shamir, would you date an Amber?
Yeah, there's like a million out there.
That's what I'm like.
What?
Why does it?
But
You would
I
date
have
an
friends.
Amber?
I have friends that are
No,
named
see, I have a
Amber, and I
problem
don't
like
even.
that.
I never even think about you.
Yeah.
Rude, first of all.
But I kind of understand a little bit. Like, if
You guys
we're
have
just-
so many memories with
We're
me,
just
okay?
so dominant. We just own our names so hard that she
Listen,
can't get
you
over
guys
it.
have
Let's
so
go.
many memories with me. You know me so well. You guys have literally like, you know, we've like been friends for so long, and then all of a sudden you find a girl named Amber, and you're gonna feel perfectly comfortable and not think about me when you refer to her.
Hold on, Niyati and Hadya, are we crazy for thinking this, or you can? By the way, I don't know what Amber's threatened you with, but you can disagree with her.
I'm on Amber's side. It's weird.
What?
Oh, my
It's weird. Well,
With
I don't
any
know
name?
if it's like.
Hadya?
I'm not really.
Like-
I don't know. Like, I
I
feel
mean,
like
it's literally close friends.
when it's happened with, like, not with me, but like when I thought
Go
about the
ahead, sis, expose
situation.
yourself.
When I thought about the situation, I always feel like I can just like come up with a nickname. I don't have to call them like by that name if it's that uncomfortable. Like I can call them by like, you know, Johnny. The only thing I come up with at the moment. I don't know. I don't
I'm
think
gonna
it's-
pardon myself from this podcast at this point.
It was so hard for you to say that word. Like it was like excruciating. to
Sounds
see
like
your
she's done
face.
it before.
Yeah, she was like, you know, let me think about Johnny.
I want to know if any listener
Yeah.
is having the same problem as Amber.
Please let me know if you agree. And then
If you really like somebody, like
Your
why
name
does
shouldn't hold it back.
anything?
hold on,
Huh?
we're not talking about really liking somebody because I don't know these people. To me, there are pictures
But you're
just
not
and
give
giving
him
their
a
him a
names.
chance.
shot.
Goodbye.
The love of your life could be named Shamir.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he can't because
be
my
amazing.
best friend, his name is Shamir. And
Yeah,
the
but that
love
would be
of-
an even bigger honor because it's like,
That'd be
hey,
so
like
funny.
my friend's name is Shamir.
No,
and like,
an
now my
honor would be
lover's name is-
naming my child after one of you guys. An honor is not having a man named after you guys.
Are you gonna name your child after me?
Probably not, but I'm just saying.
Then where's the honor?
The idea is that would be the honor, right? Like that would be like, oh wow, like you respect me so much, you name your child after me. Because like if you hate somebody, you're not gonna name your child after them, right? Like
I'm gonna name a goat after you.
oh, because I'm
That's
the
honor.
goat.
And then I'm gonna slaughter it.
That's disrespectful. Okay, and here's the second problem that I have with the app. Okay, and I gently mentioned it to these girls, but I swiped yes on this dude. Right?
Oh, so you've already had this conversation before.
No, not the one that we've already had. Not the previous one.
Okay.
I'm talking about something else.
All
Go
right.
with it. So I was basically, again, I have a hard time on these apps because I don't know how to use them and I just don't belong on them. But there's this one dude I was like, okay, attractive. He has like a cool personality, whatever. We end up like messaging for a few times, right? We're talking. And then he's like, oh, I would like to take you out for like lunch or dinner. I was like, sure, I would like that, right? We've agreed on this now. Then he goes like, oh yeah, I want like something about Instagram. I run my brother's Instagram. And I was like, okay, cool. So go ahead, like send me your brother's Instagram. Then he sends me the brother's Instagram.
What?
And the brother is so much more attractive than the guy.
Is he older or younger?
Older.
The brother is older?
Older, taller, more buff, like more into like the stuff that I'm into, like quite literally, like there couldn't have been like I quite literally was like, oh my god, like he is just a much better version of you. Now looking at you, you look like a downgrade. Like how do I proceed?
Wait, first of all, why is he running his brother's Instagram?
He's a rapper. The brother's a rapper.
Go for the older brother.
See, that's the problem. I've already committed to a date with this one. And then I see the brother's Instagram account.
Now that is trash. That is a dumpster.
Listen,
It's just a little messy. It's fine.
it's just a little messy.
So is the trash can.
Okay, so here,
Okay, so
I have
wait,
a few
Niyati and
options here,
Hadya.
right?
Niyati
Do I
and
show
Hadya.
up, get in his friends group, go around him, then start dating the brother? That's wrong, right?
What do you mean then start dating the brother? Be like, yo, my bad. Like your brother's kind of, or don't even say this part, but just be like, I can't do it.
Also, is the date romantic? Like, or is it just like, oh, let's get lunch?
No, he was like, oh yeah, like I like take you out, like you're the type of girl that I'm interested in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shamir, I mean, from any guy's perspective, like,
I mean, yo, if you
you're-
really want the guy, and it's like a friendly lunch, and you didn't say it's a date, go for the older brother. Then I think it's not trash. To be
What
honest.
if I use him to get around the brother? No, I'm just kidding.
look, she wants to. She
I'd
she
say
wants
do
to
it.
do this
Just
type of
go
stuff.
for it. Just go.
Sorry, just wants
He's
content.
like, he was in the, and it's crazy because like this guy, you know, he's cool, whatever, nice person. And then I go on this guy's Instagram, he's like verified, he's like everything, and I was like, potential. Like
Amber,
Are his bars good?
you are toxic.
I'm
Does he have
so
good bars?
toxic. He
Yeah,
does.
wait.
He
Are you a
does.
better rapper than him?
No, no. He's definitely a way better rapper than I am.
Phew.
That's also not saying much, clearly. But yeah. So then I was like, okay, well, and then we did end up going to lunch. We
And
went axe throwing, and then I never responded.
There won't be a second date.
I never responded.
Go for the older brother.
Amber, can I please come on one of these? Just as like a, I won't even like
Go
come
on a
with
date
you guys.
with a Faraz. Go on a
Like-
date with a
like-
Faraz and bring Faraz. And then
Like
go on a date
I'll
with
also
Shamir.
I'll also go
down.
axe throwing, but like not with you. I just at the same time. I just want to be there.
And then bump into her and be like, "Oh, my name's Faraz. Nice to meet you." And then the other guy would be like, "Wait, my name's
Right,
Faraz."
because he's not plastered all over everything that is related to me online.
Yeah, no.
He can wear a disguise.
Yeah, no.
oh, I can wear a disguise. I like that.
Oh.
So then you have to lie about your name too. Wait, what's the reason, Frost? Why do you want to be on these dates? Like, what are you getting from that?
I just want to see like the toxicity.
I want to see Amber in action. Like,
Amber's definitely not toxic
You
on
sicko.
dates.
You pervert.
Listen, look, I'm so not toxic. Look at my shirt. It says, don't text your ex. I'm over here spreading good messages.
Amber.
Yeah.
Never mind.
What were you going to say? What were you going to say?
I'll tell you after the podcast.
Ooh, the
I think I've
listeners-
already.
Oh,
I think
the
I've already
tea.
commented on it, but sometimes I have to catch myself.
Oh, you can say it.
Amber does text her ex quite often, all the time.
No, we don't text Frost.
is the
We
most-
FaceTime multiple times a week.
Amber! Amber!
He's my best friend.
oh my god. Yo, this is the greatest podcast
see-
of all time.
You see why Amber's thoughts on this kind of stuff, like you should only take with a grain of, like not even salt, but just like
Listen,
whatever's
my
less
thoughts on
than
my
that.
personal stuff. I give great advice to others. I just don't know how to take any of it.
To be fair, her ex is amazing.
Mood.
So
Yeah, you guys love my ex.
I agree. But you can't wear a shirt that's spreading that message if that's not what you follow.
Well, I'm not texting him. I'm FaceTiming him, so technically I'm still right. I don't be texting him like, how you doing? I FaceTime him and be like, I'm sad. Talk to me.
Oh, that's just Amber. The more you talk, the deeper the hole gets.
Listen. He even sent me presents the other day. It was great.
Shamir's like, hole?
what?
He's like, I would like to see that in action.
He did. You guys saw them. You and Shamir both replied to my stories of the of the presents he sent me.
Oh, right.
He's a great guy.
Amazing.
Amber,
guy.
what
That's why I
even,
FaceTime him all the time.
what even is your takeaway?
My takeaway is that dating apps are trash. You two are trash for having the names that you have. Men are trash. Don't text your ex, only FaceTime them. And be a bad beep, Addison Rae, Shawty the baddest.
Baddest.
Like, that's it. Facts. No
Here's
printer.
my takeaway. Boys, stay the hell away from this woman. She will ruin your life.
Or go for your brother.
Oh my.
Do you see?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anybody else have a takeaway or maybe like a concrete advice to pass on from this?
I'm just curious what I should change my name to.
Not Shamir.
Not Shami.
Hold on. Yeah,
Amir
not
Shah.
Shamir.
Amir Shah.
Amir Shah. Amir Shah.
Or you can start pronouncing the dash in your name. Shah
Dashamir.
Yeah.
Yo.
Shadashamir. Oh.
Dashamir.
It's different.
That sounds like that could be a name.
And then you can date the other Shamir.
Yeah, no,
And-
actually, I decided against that as well.
Very strange.
Okay,
Um,
well, I'm sorry, guys. Just know that I'm not as yeah, I'm toxic. Never mind. Let's just continue. I was gonna say I'm not as toxic as I sound, but that's wrong.
Speaking of dirty politics, Trump is out of the White House finally. We now have a new president officially. Nothing crazy has happened yet.
I mean, he did a lot on his first day, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Biden came in and he's already gotten rid of the Muslim ban, Africa ban. What else?
Also, part of the World Health Organization, he like put us into it because Trump took us out of the like World
The
Health
Paris.
Organization. Yeah, and then he put us back into it.
Yo, I didn't know he was the oldest person to ever accept
The
presidency.
Presidente,
Yeah. Joe Biden is,
78.
yeah.
the oldest.
How old is he?
78.
Imagine him serving 2 terms. He'd be 82 when he runs his second time.
I think this is all my friend was saying this too, but I kind of sense that like it seems like they're really trying to make Kamala the face of this whole thing as a hopes of like, oh yeah, like we're the diverse party and racism is over. Like that's the kind of
That's a pessimistic view.
it is. It absolutely is.
I would disagree. I think that people are just celebrating the fact that it's the first time in history that, like, one, not only is a woman vice president, but she is a person of color of, like, South Asian descent, and she's black, like a Jamaican. Those are two, she's bringing 2 different cultures, bring them into the White House. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. First of all, woman. Second of all, woman of color. Third thing is that she doesn't like, oh, I'm just like bland, whatever. She like brings that to the table. And I think that just generally, I would say, especially because I work with younger girls too, just being able to say to them with certainty, like, oh yeah, like there's a woman vice president. Like you can also become not just vice president, but president. That's never happened in history of America until yesterday. I think that's what we're celebrating over the fact of like, oh, diversity, whatever, this and that. I think that after Trump, where we had 4 years of very harmful rhetoric, while it did bring things to light from other people, like you got to see people's real like faces, I think it went to a very negative place where people start acting on it and like being very violent with their words and their manner, everything like that. But to have that and to show in this moment where everybody felt like there was racism and all this type of stuff that was under the rug really got lifted up in the dust, that you're able to be like, wow, we were able to overcome that. We haven't had a president who didn't serve 2 terms for almost 100 years now. I was very much certain that Donald Trump was going to have a second term. I quite literally, in the last election, I couldn't have been any more involved. I had to remove myself because I was like, I cannot deal with the fact that I'm going to get so involved in this election with keeping up with it and everything. And then Donald Trump is going to win again for a fact because like history really isn't on our side. And then to be like, no, you know, your language does matter. Your actions does matter. Who you, like, these people that you put in office, it's not just these people putting out this harmful rhetoric. These are people that look like you, who care about you, who care about low-class people, and are actually doing it by showing it. And I think that's more monumental than the fact of, like, oh, yeah, we have a girl who's, like, brown, good for her. I think it's more so this is a historic moment that is very important to, like, acknowledge. At very least acknowledge, especially after the last 4 years that we had.
I'm glad you understand that. I don't think that a lot of people do. I think that now that I say thank you for the last 4 years. I say that because we've really seen everybody be outwards who they really are. The real fear is the illusion that we have the possibility to have in the next 4 years, which are the closet racists and people that hide behind wrongdoing and evil things and fight for their positions in unjust, unfair ways. And I mean, like, if you've seen, for example, this woman's history, there is a lot of conflicting things with the people that she represents, that she's supposed to represent, that people think represent them, and what her actions have showed, right? But overall, I would just say, I'm like, it's overall, like, you want to hope, you want to pray this is the right direction, because obviously I think, like, you know, the overall impact of the country's mood and just our hope and feeling towards each other, the divisiveness that has occurred, that at least can simmer down all of that, right? But are we going to get to solutions?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's a good question to ask. But also, the comparison that you have, I think, isn't necessarily there. Yes, there is closeted things that happen, but also overt things can be damaging, especially to the point that we've had them to. I also say thank you for the last 4 years, because I say thank you to see the stark contrast and difference between the languages and how we speak about people, and everything is put right next to each other so we can really witness it. I think, however, when we have things that we consider that we really have to dig through, politics is dirty, okay? Politics is not like a cute, fun little game where everybody is just happy, whatever. It is money making for your campaign. These people that you're getting money from are the things that you have to really, like, promote. All those things. You have to, like...
Doesn't have to be.
Right. I'm saying that would be ideal.
We're used to it in the American system.
That would be ideal. But I'm saying that in the history of politics that we have lived through so far, there's people like AOC that are coming up that does not accept big campaign money. But there was a time, especially like reading through Obama's book and stuff, it gives you perspective about you're not able to get your name out there unless you have millions and millions and millions of dollars behind your name. There are people like Bernie and AOC that have really come together, but the thing that pushed them up is the internet. Like, they got their exposure from the internet. Before that, you had to pay for advertising. You had to have a big name. Otherwise, you're not winning. And we saw that with Donald Trump. He had a huge name. But to go through Kamala Harris and be like, okay, she had a history with her thing in her, in her last job. She did this wrong. Everything, right? These are politicians. It is their job. They're not going to do everything right. And that's not an excuse I'm giving her. I did things wrong in my job, too. In every job that I've ever had, I've done things that are wrong. Like, for example, I've messed up a whole night worth of orders because I've messed up delivery drivers, anything like that. But the magnitude of what your mistakes are affect a lot of people because you are a public servant. Now, what does this tell you? Yes, there are things here that are wrong. Absolutely. And now we're going to hold these people accountable. What we didn't do is by allowing this person who got elected in these last 4 years was not holding him accountable those 4 years for sexual allegation of many women, for having a fake university, for speaking about disabled people wrong, for speaking about immigrants wrong, for speaking about people's religion. And that was tolerated and accepted and was overly praised by a lot of people. But to have the stark contrast between the two, and then we look at the one person who that we have dug into their history in the dirty game of politics to say, oh, you know what, you've done things wrong, and you know what, you're really not representing us. You represent me a lot more than the man who is sexually, like, that's traumatizing to women across the world. The fact that we put somebody in office who not only just, you know, did that in his job, he openly said, I can grab a woman by her, and that's fine because I am who I am. And we were okay with that. There's a stark difference, and we have to recognize that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I will say, out of all of the things that have occurred, I'm glad to see that as toxic as the internet can be, there have been some really great moments where we're all kind of presidents in a way of our following, a lot of us. And through apps like TikTok, where people are ambassadors of their brand, or, you know, just people that are looking at them for some type of an influence, there have been some real changes that occurred based off of movements that started via the internet, which were hard to get out previously. And that's what, like, I think, you know, as much fun as we make of like Gen Z and all that, I think Gen Z is very strong in being able to get their opinions about something out there and stand up for things that, like, we don't even know are problematic a lot of times, or that conflict with each other. And, like, they're willing to stand up for, like, anything. And I guess maybe they don't have a lot to lose at the moment because they're, like, a lot of them are just kids. But it's nice to see that. Hadya and Niyati, do you ever, like, go through whatever apps you're on and get frustrated that, like, there's so much political discourse, or are you down to engage in it? Because as kids, we didn't really have it at the level that you guys have had it.
I'm down to engage in it, but I think what I'm more wary of now is like fake activism, or like people who like I've known in real life, or who like, yeah, who I've known in real life who do things that like directly cancel out like what they're putting out there. So they're like, oh yeah, Black Lives Matter, all this stuff. I'm gonna post that black square for Blackout Tuesday. But I know for a fact that these people spent like their whole entire middle school, high school experiences making fun of Black people and like any person of color at the school, like, you know. So I think it's like being aware of like what you consume, and like realizing that not everything is as it seems. Even like with brands, right? Like brands are being exposed for like, oh, they can post about being in support of all these things, but then you find out behind the scenes that they're doing all this shady stuff, right? Or
well, it's in their interests because it makes them money,
exactly,
or it makes them lose money if they don't say something.
Exactly. So you just have to be wary of like whether people are doing things for the right reasons, right? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes absolute sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that like there's a lot of information, and I feel like now you kind of have no excuse but to do things politically correct, and that might be uncomfortable at first, but I feel like we all have to start somewhere, and it might feel extra in the moment, but I don't know. That's what they said about like women's rights in the beginning, so I think we just like have to like try as best as we can, but also be careful to make sure we're not doing things just so we look better to people, and we're actually doing it in the goodness of our own hearts.
Yeah,
and that's it's like a thing. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, I think that is kind of hard to draw the line on, and that's where sometimes I have trouble, is like where somebody's intent is, and Hadi, you kind of mentioned this too, where somebody's intent is versus their actions, right? And I think a lot of, you'll see, I don't know how much stand-up comedy or just like stand-up comedy. Yeah, so a lot of stand-up comedians have a
I
hard.
love you're on the podcast. Speak up. You're allowed to speak.
You said you love stand-up comedy, right?
I love stand-up comedy.
So if you've noticed, a lot of stand-up comedians, like in this past year or two, have pointed out how annoying it is to be a comedian as of recent, right? And that's, I think, something that we, as entertainers in general, can agree with to a degree, where it's just like, these people who are up here, they believe and stand up for a lot of the same things we do, but they're also openly making fun of everything. And once things start to offend people, that something that they're saying, it becomes a weird sort of area for them to try to navigate, because it's like, what's allowed, what's not. I thought the whole point of comedy was to make fun of everything. And so is that something that you guys ever like have trouble with gauging, or being like, you know what, like everybody's saying this in my age group, but like, is this how I feel? Or like just even taking a side in general, do you feel like you always have to take a side?
Yeah, it's actually like kind of not a big problem, but it's like a problem that I really noticed, like, is like the pressure to be politically correct all the time. And like, it's so hard. Like, even when everything was going with the Black Lives Matter protests, like at the very beginning when it really like took off, like everybody was really interested in it. If you posted anything not related to it, people would get offended. And they would be like I noticed this a lot with like celebrities. If they would take a break from posting about it, or maybe they didn't post about it right away, people would take to comments, take to DMs, take to every platform to like attack them for not speaking out on these topics right away. And then with comedy, it's like, at this point, no matter what you say, in a way, you're always going to offend somebody. But I think now that we have all these platforms like TikTok and Instagram and stuff, so you can just make a quick video and be like, oh, this guy, look at what he said in this 45-minute stand-up. This is so wrong. Here's why it's offensive. Here's why you shouldn't support them. And without even looking into it, here's an
infographic of why this is a problem.
Yeah, and without even looking into it, like a lot of people will just blindly follow. Like, even if it's not their opinion, they'll be like, yeah, no, we have to cancel them. Look at this. Look at what they did. But they don't look at any other kind of point of view.
I saw a tweet. They were like, cancel this person, and then everyone's like, wait, why are we canceling it? But they were like down to cancel that person. And I was like, what's going on?
Cancel culture is so toxic in a way. Like, obviously there are some people who deserve to like be canceled. Like, there are some people that like they do things that are just unforgivable. You should not support them, I guess. Like,
what is that? What is that line for you guys? Anybody feel free to.
For me personally, I guess like pedophilia. When people get exposed for being pedophiles, I'm like, hey, sorry, I can't anymore. Like, it doesn't matter how much I loved your music. Or like, like musicians, when it would come out that they like slept with minors while they were on tour or whatever. A really big band here, I don't know if they were big in the States, but Headley, their lead person got caught sleeping with minors while on tour. And like, instantly, as soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, sorry, I have to delete.
It just like turns you off.
Yeah, like you like
sure.
It feels, after you listen to their music after that, you're like, or watch their shows or watch their videos or whatever, right? It feels icky. Like, you're just like, ooh.
Sure.
That's the best way to describe it, but
yeah. Does anyone else have like a definite line that they are like, if this person does this, especially when it comes to like creative stuff, like I won't engage with their content anymore?
If it's like multiple things and they haven't learned from it, I think that's when I'm like, oh, you never really you never really learned from it. You never really meant your apology. You're just like doing this for clout. and you're kind of just like writing off like the whole, oh, I'm a better person now, like that thing, that kind of just,
Are you talking about Shane Dawson?
not Shane Dawson, just like overall. Like, you know, that, like, all the YouTube drama, all the beauty gurus, all that happened. Like, people are forgiven and stuff. But for me, still, I'm like, why did that even happen? You know, like, I can, like, never see these people the same way. But that could just be me.
Are you able to separate the art from the person who committed something? Or no?
Not if they're YouTubers. Because YouTubers, like, you are your art. Like, the content you put in, like, you're
that's
in it.
interesting.
Like, you're the one talking.
Like if a vlogger were to do something, then it's
Yeah.
like, wait, but you are yourself.
Yeah, like, when you watch YouTube and you're watching people, you're watching it for the people. You're not really watching, like, even, like, makeup stuff. You're watching it because of the person's personality and the way they're talking.
Like
I feel
if God forbid Taylor Swift did something that was just like out of question for you, like are
She
you
would never
still,
do that.
well, let's hope so. But I'm just being like, you know, just
Yeah.
throwing a hypothetical sort of question out there. Would you like, you know, because you're listening to her music and her music means something to you in a symbolic way, would you be able to make that separation? It's hard to say right now because you wouldn't know what it is, but the
Yeah.
worst thing ever, like, is that something that you would?
If it was really that bad and it really, like, affected me in that way, I don't think I personally would, like, I don't think I could listen to her music. Like, when I listen to her music, I don't think it would affect, like, I don't think I would like it anymore.
Interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, these are all things that I think we think about when it comes to where do we go as a nation and as a culture forward from here, right? We've seen what the Trump age has brought us. And here's one thing I'm going to do. I'm not going to get rid of my Trumpy friends. Like,
Oh yeah.
and people might listen to this and be like, why do you even have Trump friends in the first place?
I make fun of them. I'm like, yo, are you guys sad, depressed? Like yesterday, I was like, yo, you guys depressed?
But
They're
but
like-
people would tell you, like, how do you even still have Trump friends? Like, there's a
Oh,
lot of people that are
remove
like,
them from your list.
exactly, right.
Yeah.
But like, that's literally most of my
I
high
need
school.
to know what not just what is being said, but like I like understanding people, and a lot of times they're the ones describing the feeling that is a complete stark difference from my thoughts and opinions. I want to know your thoughts and opinions. And if I
Exactly.
remove that, then I don't have access to it.
Like before we jump on what you're saying, let's try to figure out why you're saying it. Where is this coming from? What's the root of this? And is there a way to get to the solution or have it both ways somehow before we get there? Because most of the time we're looking at something that somebody just said. And like Hadya pointed out earlier, it's usually just a little excerpt of a huge, piece of something. And we're all guilty of it. Like I probably have done that before where I see a tweet and I'm like, this person is wilding. But when we actually break down where they're coming from, and also in this day and age, we should know better when somebody is doing something to clickbait it. And it's not just an opinion. Now it is to get attention for that opinion, to reel them in, right? Because we do that as a podcast and as a brand overall to get to the greater idea. We should be aware of those things. And we should keep these people around so that while we're all caught up in Trump is over party, that we don't miss out on what Biden party is doing or any party for that matter. And I mean, things aren't getting.
They bring
hidden
up good
in the
points too. Like,
Sometimes.
I have a friend who's, good points as in from their perspective. Like, because sometimes we like to, mark them off as like, oh, they're just ignorant and this and that,
Entitled.
like, whatever. Yeah, whatever, right? But it's interesting to hear what they have to say in their perspective. Like I'm like, okay, you know what? Based off your life experience and the way that you come across and and how this is affecting you, I can see why this bothers you. And I can see how this is a point that you're making that's valid to you specifically, even if it is not beneficial to people outside of you and your kind.
You know what else is interesting is when we have that discussion of entitlement and how certain people's problems or priorities aren't as important or significant as somebody else's. And I think, like, I was watching the show Schitt's Creek, and like, it's a rich family that ends up in, like, you know, just a random town, and they have to basically figure out how to do things on their own, which they have never had to do before, right? And it makes me think of, if there's somebody who has butlers and maids and everything done for them and ends up in the woods, right, with another person who has grown up, you know, fending for themselves and hunting and things like that. The person who's richer might be coming from a more privileged background, but when you're in that environment, you might still feel sorry for the rich person because they're not going to know how to do things themselves because they didn't grow up that way. And there's certain needs that no matter how ridiculous they sound, they actually need to go on. I know that sounds bizarre, but if you think about it in a survival sense and in a need sense, some of us, because of the way we grew up, actually don't need as much as other people. And sometimes when we look at somebody else and see the things that they have, we don't realize what they might be missing. And if you think of it in a greater concept of like more money, more problems, it might ring true because we don't know what other people are going through. And at least if you hear out why something is a problem to them, they might give you that same opportunity to explain, well, this is where I'm coming from and I don't have any of these things at all. So maybe if I had a basic human right or, you know, just a chance to make some money or different things. Was that a TikTok thing you did?
Yeah. That was me in my mind saying I'd rather cry in a Range Rover than a Civic, but that was completely inappropriate to what the conversation we were having. My brain goes off into TikTok world. Sorry.
This is Amber Khan, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only.
Would you rather cry in a Civic or cry in a Range Rover?
In a Civic is like, that's home.
More reliable.
Way more reliable.
You know what? You're right. I am pretty
and if I have a broken part or something, you know how much easier it is to get that fixed than a Range Rover?
Yeah, but not if you have money.
Yeah, but you're crying. And
you're crying either way. In both scenarios, you're crying.
Fine, but it's not practical to cry in a Range Rover. All right. It's fine. Yeah, Amber, you cry in your Range Rover, all right?
I don't have a Range Rover. I was just thinking hypothetically.
I have hope in all of this. More hope in people than I do in, if anything we've learned from David Weiss is government and politics in general. He did have a good point, and we did hear him out, which is what we're talking about right now, and that's important. But I have a lot of hope, and I'm excited to continue building the amazing relationships and connections that we have gotten the privilege to through our platform. So I hope that everybody listening can also feel free to reach out at any time, leave your comments, leave your critique, let's debate, but let's keep growing. That's what I have to say in this excitement for the next few years. Does anybody else have a takeaway, a hope?
No.
You just spit bars. I don't know how we can follow up after that.
Period.
I just be freestyling, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to wrap up.
I mean, I think it's important to be mindful that not everything is going to be great, but we're responsible for in our lives is ourselves and what we can do for those around us. And that is more impactful to your daily life than what people in government are going to do. So make sure you are leading your life with good intention and have those around you that have good intentions, because that's what's going to ultimately impact you daily.
I want to leave this on a last little nice fun note. There's certain people that you can't have hope for.
Oh.
And those are the people who waste your time.
Uh-oh.
And don't bring value to anything that you do.
Okay.
Have you ever hung out with somebody who just takes up your time? Just wants to hang out? Or are you guys those people?
You guys aren't going to like my example.
What?
Is
it
it
with us?
Is it an X or something, Amber?
No, it's that I feel that way, especially with gym time. Like, people are like, oh yeah, let's work out. And I'm like, okay,
that's fair.
come to my gym. I have a membership. I will get you in. Let's work out. They're like, you don't want to like grab dinner beforehand? No, we're going to the gym. Oh, you don't want to like hang out afterwards? No, I'm going to sleep. Oh, you don't maybe want to skip the gym and like maybe we can just like hang out? No, you asked me for gym. Don't try to switch up now. Like, you're wasting my time. Like, I am set here. If you want to join me where I'm already going to be and actually work, don't come to the gym and have a conversation with me. You better be sweating, bitch. But
The gym is one of those places that you are crunched on time because of a certain feeling, whether you're on your protein or whatever, that it needs to be done within that time. And I think a lot of people would agree with you that if somebody comes in the middle of that, like, it's going to be a problem.
I've had people that I've made friends with at the gym who've later like stopped coming to the gym. They're like, oh, like, you want to hang out? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll meet you at the gym. They're like, cool. Then like an hour before, they're like, okay, cool, you ready? And I'm like, yeah, I'll meet you at the gym. They're like, I'm not really feeling the gym anymore. Let's just like go smoke hookah. And I'm like, you did not just bait me in with the gym and then try to switch up and like whatever.
Okay, but not that. Maybe I'm wrong in thinking this way, or maybe like we're just so productive and everything. Remember we talked about literally going on what's it called, DoorDash dates, so that it's a productive date, right? Is it me just feeding into the digital age and being in this fast moving society, or is anybody else?
I think it's a go ahead, Niyati.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it's a creator thing or like an artist thing, right? For me, at least, I have a huge problem with that. There's a lot of friends that want to hang out with me, but they don't see me that often because I feel like I'm not at the point where I'm comfortable with like my creative endeavors. So I'm like, yo, I have to probably work 80 hours, whatever, a week, and like they can work and don't have to think about work afterwards. I have to think about work constantly. So when I'm with them, I'm not even with them. I'm thinking about, what I'm missing or what I could do at home. So I'm like, even when hanging out with them, I'm not hanging out. So it's like, I don't know. It's a lot of pressure. It's not necessarily them. I think it's me. But I don't know about you.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I was going to say that, like, your energy is valuable, and I feel like even, like, the people you're friends with, I personally I'm very grateful to say that, like, the 5 friends that I do have, I love them so much, and, like, I could
4 of them are on this podcast. Who's the person that's left?
The 10 friends I do have.
She wasn't counting us.
I mean, now that I know we're friends. No, but, yeah, like, I'm so grateful that I have them, because when I do hang out with them, they're either, like, bringing happiness into my life or, like, some sort of thing. But, like, when you hang out with people you don't really want to hang out with, who you know that don't like you or you don't really like, it's just, like, why are you doing that, It's, like, a waste of everyone's time, a waste of energy. You just feel terrible after. So
energy is a good word. I think energy is really important. It's funny because I think Amber was literally asking me this the other day about someone. She was just like, Press, I don't think you like this person. I was like, no, I do.
But
they're a good person. And then she was like, yeah, but it doesn't sound like. And I'm just like, I don't think
I wasn't doubting that you thought they were a good person. I just was doubting the fact that you liked hanging out with them.
Yeah. That's because that's what I have like trouble with sometimes, of like, well, when you hang out with someone, you are supposed to just hang out. Like in classically, like when, friends would come over, we go outside, like playing outside and like skateboarding and just playing video games and stuff. Like that was different. But even now, like, bro, you're playing Shamir, like you're playing video games, but it's work.
Yeah.
In a way. Isn't that so weird?
Yeah. No, and that's like the messed up part about me. It's like I want to make everything productive.
Yeah.
And I think doing that is a way to make it fun and productive at the same time. So, but, there are friends that like you forget about all that when you hang out with them. And I think that's very special. But I think there's some people that aren't like that and you still think about work. And it's hard to say no to them, but they still want to hang out with you.
I
don't
feel
know.
like there's few friends that you gain something, and I like, again, these words, energy, that the energy they bring around you, whether it be the longevity that they've had in your life as a friendship, or whether they've like played a really special role, they kind of get a pass to me when it comes to spending time, because I am gaining something internally from them. And then there's other ones where you're like, okay, like, you agree to like meet up with someone, and then you realize the conversation might be negative about something. There's no really like substance to it. It might be shallow, and it doesn't really like provide you any purpose. And you leave that conversation or that like hangout feeling not fulfilled of having done anything with your day. Whereas I think that with friends that you do value and you do really enjoy their time and company, that sometimes that fulfills something.
That's spot on, because it's not even a wasting time thing, because like throughout the week I get a few calls from like people that I find really valuable, and it might go like an hour or two, sometimes like 3 hours, but it's such a good, and the reason it goes on that long is because it's so inspiring, or just telling of something that like when I get off the call I feel really good, energized. And yeah, I think what you're saying with like the substance thing, and how you're saying the energy thing, I think like all of the combination of these things, and then Shamir, maybe like some of it has to do with being an entrepreneur, being in a creative field. These things like maybe we're just all so much more complex now than ever of how we choose to spend our time, because there's so many options, and we don't only have physical friends, we have digital, and virtual things going on all the time that require our time and attention.
Creator, like if I could add that, like, you need to have substance to create. And if you're around people who aren't helping fuel that, then it feels empty sometimes. Whereas again, like being, energized from the inside, whether it be they're literally saying funny things that you're like, wow, I could do something like that with, or they're just providing you something internally to keep on going. But if they're not giving you any substance for you to leave with, then you feel empty. How do you create something with an empty feeling? Which, I mean, that can be beautiful in itself too. But it
That's a good
oftentimes leaves you kind of dry.
And you could have experiences with somebody, like new experiences, right? But sometimes you are the person to somebody else that they get their energy from. And if you, at the moment... Go ahead.
Wow.
I mean, that's like the exact position I feel like I'm in.
Like, you're the guy that they go to that is like, yo, Shamir, he's the fun guy. He's
like
doing all these cool
please
things.
come through, like, we miss you. And I'm just like, I don't know if I get my substance, like, or energy and vibes, and it makes me feel super guilty, but that's the truth and reality.
Wow.
And I don't know what to do. But so sometimes I'll like throw everything aside and just, go. And sometimes I'll hang. But that's the issue I really face. And that's like the hardest thing for me.
It's also important, if you do decide to commit to that thing, that you are focused. Because people can tell. Like, you can always tell when there's like a friend or a family member that their mind is just somewhere else. And it's like, if your mind is so occupied in that, then you should probably just do that, because your energy is not adding. It's actually taking away.
Right.
But it's definitely a thing like we all have to navigate. And it's just, I don't know, I was thinking about that recently. The more and the older we get, the more friends and more connections people we're just going to have to deal with in general. Especially with all of this like Zoom and everything like that. And like before,
that hit when you said that.
Like I still, my parents still have like their address books, and that's everybody in their lives,
That's true.
Yeah.
And now it's like, damn, I got different people on Snapchat, different people on Instagram, different people, like it gets crazy. And imagine like by the time we're so much older, it's just going to be so many people. But I guess we'll figure it out as we go. Just keeping it real is what I want to, always be able to do.
Maybe we can find like how you were saying, like other people who you are that person for, that like you give them energy. Like maybe we could find a way to find that as fulfillment in itself. Because I never thought about that before, as you said it. Like there's some people that you provide that for, and that's why you're there is because you're providing something for them. And maybe that is enough.
Well, like, that's what this is too. Like, anytime I come here, I know that we're going to engage in like a conversation that is going to make me think, question my own thoughts, change my beliefs, or strengthen them. And it's always a productive sort of meeting. And that's great. And I don't know, maybe everyone's going to have a podcast if they don't already.
Starting to happen.
That's
But
true.
it's cool. Let's wrap this thing up. We have one last thing to do to really put a stamp on Niyati and Hadya being here. You guys know what
ready?
that is?
What is it?
Oh,
Niyati, do you know what it is?
I think so.
Hadya, do you know what it is? Uh-oh.
You're really taking my energy away right now. It's your flavor, girl.
Oh.
We gotta find out what flavor you are and why you think you are that flavor.
Frost, ask it properly.
You ask it properly.
If you could describe yourself as any flavor, what would it be and why?
No. What would it be and why?
What would it be and why? We're doing video stuff, by the way. Audio listeners are confused.
We're doing
We're
TikTok
doing-
moves. I've watched a TikTok recently that says like how I communicate with my Gen Z sister, and she doesn't understand anything that her sister is saying until she does the hand gestures with it. And she's like, and that's on period. All right, come on. You've known about this
Okay.
question. You've definitely thought about it before. Niyati, you look ready. Drop it on us.
Okay, I'm kind of ready. I would say guava.
Okay.
Like, it's like, it's green. My favorite color is green. But, and it's like sweet, but also kind of sour because the skin is kind of sour, but like, what I'm talking about?
That's what you
But there's
are?
a lot of seeds.
Sweet and
No,
sour?
but there's a lot of seeds in it too, which kind of like, they're kind of annoying. But I feel like I'm like
You're kinda
a mix.
annoying.
I'm a mix of things, and like you either really like me or you don't. Like,
Really?
And that's on what?
period.
I don't know. I can't see you. Like, who has a problem with you?
Let us know.
Good point. But
Good one.
no one has a problem with me. But like, it's kind of like, I don't know. I like to see myself as unique. Like, like I'm like a mix of things, and I can't really like be like, oh, this is my personality, or like this is who I am. Like this is the
she's
thing about me.
different.
I'm different,
you
built
know?
different. But I don't know. I like guavas, and I like how they taste unique. Like I haven't tasted anything
Invented
like a guava
character.
before. Yeah, main
Guavas are
character.
great. They're especially great in a milkshake.
Stop.
Right, Hadya?
No.
We're not having this discussion.
Not milkshake smoothie for us.
I mean,
It
it's
was
what's
a
the,
milkshake.
A milkshake is like vanilla, chocolate, like
no?
cookie.
It doesn't have to be vanilla and anything. A milkshake is just with
You
milk.
can't put guava juice and milk and water and
You
peanut
can,
butter.
and I did, and it was good.
Can't.
What's your flavor?
I don't know if this will make sense, but
It
like
doesn't.
cumin, zira.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know why exactly. I think it's because like it's in everything. It's always there, and I feel like that's me. Like I'm just always kind of around. The dish.
You're the
wouldn't
friend. You're the
complete.
friend that is hard to hang out with. That adds no substance. That's
Yeah,
what
that's exactly it. That's why I didn't
No,
talk in the
add
last-
substance, but you would
No.
under like value its like importance.
Wow,
okay.
that's deep. That's
Wow.
but
She's like, that's
yeah.
what I meant to say.
No, it's like no dish would be like complete without it. But like you don't really notice.
Go.
It's like a really sad turn. I didn't mean for it to get sad, but like
She's
yeah,
like,
it's
I'm
just-
No,
in
it's
a
not
room, but
sad.
nobody knows I'm there.
Niyati's was sad. Yours seems like it's positive.
like yeah, like I'm always just around. It's in everything. It's the base kind of thing for everything. You put the zira and the onions and the garlic and whatever. That's just desi food, maybe, I don't know. But yeah.
Satisfactory answers. I would give you 2 gold stars for that
Nice.
Out of 3.
out of 10.
Out of 100.
Hey, you're getting gold stars. That's a good thing, all right? Let's be
guess.
thankful. Let's not be entitled, all right?
Okay. Fine.
No, but we're really glad that you guys are here, and we love your energy, and we can't wait to keep this up with you guys. So thank you for being here.
Yep.
And if you want to do the outro, I want to hear if you guys are able to do it after I say thank you for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. It's been
Another week.
Another week. Another flavor. A little less stranger.
all right. Niyati was gonna do it. We'll talk to you next time.
We did don't.
Streets would remember our